I want to talk about the legal fiction that we've all been given when we're born. So think of this as if you've got a parent who's died. You are the executor of a dead person's estate. You pay the bills out of his money in his bank, the dead person's money in the dead person's bank. You settle all the accounts. That is your role. That is the role that you are actually playing when you get a bill from the government or a government official and it says a council tax or a speeding ticket or any of those sort of things. And I've had some amazing guests that have explained this more fully to me. My understanding, of course, has grown greater on this. There are some people who say that this isn't a thing, that it is irrelevant, that it confuses issues, and there's others that say it is definitely the thing and it is the answer to getting out of so many things, particularly the system. I've only been looking at these things for a very short period of time, but it seems more important now that we understand who we are and who we're not. Let me put it this way. I remember saying in one of my videos, I am my own person. And a very nice man called Stuart got in touch with me and he said, no, Richard, you're not a person. And I said to him, what are you talking about? That just seems like semantics, because he said you're a living man. Well, of course, I understand now that a person, according to Black's Law Dictionary, a person is an entity. It is a dead thing. It isn't a real living man. And of course, I am a living man. A person is part of your legal fiction. And you might say, what the hell is a legal fiction? Well, we know now that we live in this corporate Britain, and we'd rather be in a sovereign Britain, free, out of this corporation where we're being treated as if we are basically a dead entity all the time. And that is true because the government, being a corporation, a for-profit business that is there to extract money from you and contract with you and make you do work so that you can pay them, they do treat you as a dead entity, as a legal fiction, and not as a living man. When you're born, your parents inform the registrar you have been born, that of your birth. Now, a lot of this is connected to the law of admiralty. I won't get into that because that is part of it, but it can be quite confusing if you're new to this. The parents inform the registrar and he writes out a record of your birth, which is changed into your birth certificate. You get a copy. You don't get the original, of course, because the original, as I understand it, is then bonded and put into a trust with the Treasury. So the Treasury, as I understand it, puts in a certain amount of money. And then this bond, this trust, is floated on the stock market and is making money. You, of course, are really the executor of this trust, and the government, and the legal department of the government and the banking part of the government are merely the trustees. And in a trust there are three parties. There's the settler or the executive who sets it up and who's in charge, which you can claim if it's you. There's the trustees who carry out the necessary work, and then there's the beneficiary. Well, it's in your name, it's your trust, so you're the executive and the sole beneficiary, and the government are actually the trustees of this fund, or the bankers, or the legal department, however you want to look at it. This goes on. Of course, they don't tell you this. So although this trust is set up, in a way it's null and void, because you have to know that the trust is there to be part of it. And if like in a contract, both people are not, the contract is not disclosed, the terms and conditions are not disclosed to both parties, then actually it is null and void. However, they don't tell you this, and the bond is out there and it's making money. You have an enormous amount of money, potentially millions of pounds in this trust fund, which you, unless you claim it, is beneficiary to the government, but it is actually yours. And so this, then you get a name, which has been the one that's registered, which is your name, and you'll notice all the communication from official bodies like the government is your name in capitals. Now, this capitalisation you think is in English, but it's legalese, dog Latin, if you like. It's in another language, because this is from the dictionary of Black Law's Dictionary. And Black Law's Dictionary, which is this bar guild dictionary of the courts, of the legal system, of the corporation that the government use, which of course is Roman originally and part of canon law. But don't let any of that confuse you. It's just that when you get a letter and it comes and it says your name, what you think is your name, because it looks like English, because it's in capitalisation, it comes to you and says you've got to pay your council tax and this is the bill, and there it is, it says Richard Vobes in capitals. That's not you. That is a legal fiction. Some people in America call it the straw man. I don't really like that term. It seems woolly and not 100% accurate. To me, legal fiction is better, because this is just a name. It's a dead thing. It's on a piece of paper. It's not you, because you are a living man or woman. This is you. This is how you identify yourself, by your living status, not a piece of paper with words in capitalisation. Now, it's important to understand this very fundamental thing, because very often bills or summonses, court proceedings will all be in this legal fiction. And you do have to understand that what they're referring to is not you. You are, in fact, not only a living man or woman, but you are the executor of the estate. So think of this as if you've got a parent who's died and left you to be in charge. You know, when you, and I had to do this with my father, when you are the executor of a dead person's estate, you pay the bills out of his money in his bank. The dead person's money in the dead person's bank. You settle all the accounts. That is your role. That is the role that you are actually playing when you get a bill from the government or a government official, and it says, like the council tax or a speeding ticket or any of those sort of things.